What's up, y'all? This is your boy Gerald. It's November 1st, y'all. That's right. Look over your shoulder because that's where October went. Now it is the 1st. A new energy, a new clarity, new truth. How is everybody doing? I hope you are well, y'all, because it is still the beginning of your week. And this week, we'll have events that will validate where you are and understanding on the things that may not have set well with you as of late. But just know something. God's got something better for you. So I'm putting this video out for the intended heart and intended mind because, see, I see your worth. I'm going to continue to speak my truth. And I hope that it will resonate. It will spark some understanding. It may even piss you off, but guess what? Don't be afraid of that. Because, see, God's got something in store for your life. Because, see, your life is priceless, y'all. It always was. And everything that has been shown in snapshots, in events, even in disappointment, has a purpose for the person you are destined to be. Why? Because you're priceless. I mean, come on now. Think about it. If your life had no merit, why is it that people constantly gravitate to it? Why is it communication exists? Why is it that your response and how it's interpreted is placed there for consideration? Because everybody has to do their work. But I gotta shed some light for some of y'all because some of y'all are not feeling a certain kind of way. I understand. I done been there. And I'm gonna tell you what. Where your life is headed, you will be grateful you came through, but you'll also will be even more grateful for the wisdom that was revealed to yourself. Now, you do understand that there are going to be people in your life. Their whole mindset is to convince you to leave them alone, to just condone their behavior and how it's interpreted. And that's the only choice given. You may have this feeling of emotion with a family member, a loved one, a friend, or even your work environment. And you're feeling a little perplexed right now because all you want to do is have peace, but your environment is giving you the opposite. And you're feeling maybe possibly you are in a situation where you're pulling your teeth. Let me tell you something. See, some will fall victim. And some will just say, well, you know what? That's who they are. And That's that's just what it is. The devil's a liar, y'all. The devil's a liar. So let's jump in this. I put this out there for a reason, y'all. Because some of y'all have seen people go to the extremes, and all you want to do is rescue them from themselves. Let me tell you something right now so you understand. The effect that you're feeling, maybe that frustration, that angst that you're feeling, is their spirit. And right now, what is really being revealed is that is a soul tie. That may be a contract that has loomed through their generational tie. But let me tell you something, y'all. Nothing, nothing that is not blessed will ever sustain a life. I say that because pain, y'all, pain does not know time. It just knows sustainment. And that is why maybe some of y'all have had to experience those who suck you dry. They go to the well, so to speak, to tap into your emotions. And you give in return your time. Because naturally, you want the best for these people. But haven't you noticed? You might as well be talking in a foreign tongue because nothing happens. Only thing changes is time lost. These people right there, y'all, I hate to be the bearer of this news. These people have a love affair for their pain. Did you hear what I said? They're more loyal to their pain. That pain may result in their how they respond. You know, that may be the stimulus and the reaction that comes from the situation. Meanwhile, they've got you flustered and they're looking at you kind of dumbfounded, like, have no words of empathy or compassion. These people have a love affair for their pain. Now here comes the disappointment. Until they decide to love themselves, they'll never love you. So you got to make a conscious decision where you see yourself in that paradigm. You got to make a decision that you love yourself more. I ain't got to tell you what you already know. You know what you need. But if they're not giving you what you need, why are you there? Why are you there? Or better yet, why aren't they giving you that if they valued your life? Now, this might be a hard truth for some people because your intentions may have been pure. But do you actually think you were born on this planet to struggle? Do you actually think you were born on this planet to answer to a name that is not yours? Why in 2016 are you turning your head and acknowledging someone who calls you out of your name? Why are you doing this? Why is it in 2016 people want to say they want this outcome, but they don't want to invest in what it takes? See, it's real easy, y'all, to have a last stands of you gonna roll with me or else. Take the else. Take the else. Because pain is time released. Who am I talking to? Let me tell you something, Queens. People that love you are not going to put you at risk. They know the importance of your time. They actually listen to what you say and take stock in your intellect. See, if you're in a bond, a relationship that is built off of potential, I'm here to tell you, it ain't growing. You can't grow off of potential. You grow off of foundation. That's why them little bad boys keep doing this. But you know what? They're going to keep being bad boys because they're not men. And I say this out of love. I do. You don't get brownie points for taking abuse. You get more of the same because you're sending a message to the person that, hey, I can keep on doing it. The reason for that is that person, that family member, that work colleague has already a perspective about you that they see, and they don't want to change it. Why? Because it goes against who they are. So I'm not saying that you have to be the asshole, excuse my French, to get your point across. Sometimes all is required is you to be still, to take note. Take note what's going on and who's in it. And then be honest with yourself. What is lacking? And speak it. See, I ain't got to tell you, there are hundreds and thousands of people that want to convince you that the only way that you're going to have peace of mind is you got to separate, right? You can't separate. There's no love in separation. Some of y'all get that in a second. But the same people that's yelling separation have been separated from themselves for a long time. Only thing that's different is they have a platform that does not support love, does not acknowledge God, and it reflects in their lives. Doesn't listen. All you gotta do is look out your door, look out on the boob tube, and there are thousands and thousands of examples showing you that money doesn't buy love. This has been an age-old issue. Why? Until you decide to be honest with yourself. Can a perspective be born? That is also why I also put the video out finally. Because I get, you guys, unfortunately, you're not privy to this. I always get numerous requests to talk about relationships. I get them all the time. People are starting to wake up and they're realizing that their relationship was a sham. It was an agenda. And you had to play the position for the agenda to go forth. But see, once again, I go back and I counter this each and every time. This would not be a problem if you decided to love you. So why do you think I always echo? Do you know who you are? Because if you actually gave that some thought, you would also know what is required to be protected from. See, no one's exempt, y'all. And as you mature, and let me throw this out there too, because you're 21 years old doesn't make you grown. That is the number one trick many people fall into. They think, well, you know, I'm grown, I'm 21, I can do whatever I want. But look, you're still making adolescent choices. You still are placing your health at risk. You're still not able to financially grow. Why? Because you got people sitting there waiting to pounce on your direction. Who am I talking to? So, you got a choice. You gonna play the victim, be the martyr? How about that concubine or that sex slave? And let me throw this out there too, because I want to turn that down real quick. You probably wonder why, Gerald, why you always throw that sex connection in there, right? Because people think in 2016, because you have sex, that's intimacy. It's not. It's not. It's like the physical act is like placing sprinkles on an ice cream cone. It's an additive, it's an expression. So, to truly understand, you got to get in front of the act, the emotion. What pushes that to be the conclusion? You don't think, listen, think about it. Society wants you to be distracted at all costs. This is not a conspiracy, this is a fact. The more that you're not grounded, the more you're not going to make decisions that are best for your life. So if you don't know who you are, how are you going to understand what's going on in your environment? Now, for those who don't want to believe, that's not my choice. That's not my business. But I know you're smart. I know you're intelligent. And I know in the back of your mind, you've got to be taking stock all these disappointments that have perpetuated through your life. You think that's by chance? No. They show up like this in your face to see, did you get it? Do you understand why this is happening to you? So that the rough edges can be broken off. You can't go to the next level of your life if you haven't learned what was required to take the next steps. It's like school. If you haven't mastered what was proficient on that level, you're not going to get promoted. Well, we got a lot of people that have been kept back in their lives far too long. And these are the things that make up the psyche of the dynamic that you pass on to your children. Come on. Tell me again why you don't think you're beautiful. Tell me again why you don't think you don't You should not be respected. Tell me again why you don't think that your dreams and aspirations do not have an impact on this world. You ain't gotta tell me. Them dreams you having, yeah, that one is trying to let you know that that little boy and that little girl that's inside you is yelling out, come back to me. I'm tired of sitting on the corner waiting for you to come back to me. I'm tired of being spit on or abused or kicked, disrespected. That's who the real you is. But on a bigger note, the people that you allow access in your life, if they don't come with it from the first day, they're not going to come with it at all, because this is free will of choice. If you don't know who you are, how you going to know what you need? Because trust and believe, you know that devil? The devil. Let me tell you what he wants. He wants to destroy you systematically from the inside out. He wants to do nothing but destroy your existence. But he's not going to come to you like a thief in the night. He's going to have his demons do it for him. You thinking that that guy right there, because he looks the part, he's going to protect you. He can't even protect himself. You think because the fact the way she wiggles and the way she blinks her eyes, she can stop traffic, she's going to be able to support you when you sit? She ain't thinking about you. She's thinking about her next hustle. Because that's what society is doing, Queens. You can't see it. Society has done everything in their power but call you a whore in your face. Spit on you. Step on your dreams. I told y'all that 3 years ago. To be careful of that. Look at the fashion. Society has convinced you that less is more. And you're wondering why he's walking around brain dead, because he don't use that. That ain't nothing but a hat rack. And you feeling a certain kind of way because he's failing as a man. Well, there's two reasons why that went down. 9 times out of 10, he never had a man to be an image to emulate. As we progress through time, more and more of the commercial aspect of our society are going to take away the filters when it comes to your children. Oh yeah, you feel a certain kind of way because when you see that little fast ass 14-year-old, she got a body, don't even know how to carry it, but that's really nothing because of her diet. She thick like that because of what she eats. And you wonder why you're strung out on prescription pills. It's what you eat. We've even convinced each other. There are people actually convince themselves that I don't need no water, but your body is made of 85% of it. You wonder why you look old. Your skin is your biggest organ. You have to replenish it. You're wondering why your hair is falling out. You're not hydrating yourself. You're not taking your vitamins. You're not sleeping. Know why? Because socially society wants you to embrace a type A or a introverted personality. You know what an introvert is? That's a person that goes within. Some of the gamers get a bad rap for that because their social skills is very limited. But here's the kicker. They go within, but on that screen, they are the opposite. They're able to be expressive. And I saw that long time ago. I couldn't understand, but why is it that? And this is not to knock gamers because, hey, I got my consoles too, but I also know when there's a time to play and a time to do work. Shoot, I was one of those cats that went out there and bought that PS3 the week it dropped. They got my money. And I played it 2 times, 3 times, and it's got dust on it. I know somebody said, well, it's PS4. Yeah, I know, but the point I'm trying to make is that's a distraction. That can't make me no money. There's life outside the TV. There's life outside this laptop. I still got to plant seeds because what's at stake is my legacy. So let's go back to what really going on. Some of y'all are in toxic relationships that you don't realize was spawned from your childhood. And as you grow, you're starting to understand, and now you see that your environment deceived you. But guess what? You may be that person that will be the patriarch or the matriarch of your family. Oh, yes. And you know, this is how you know, because everybody gravitates around you. You don't have to set your watch. It's just a matter of time. They always come to you. They always listen to your advice. Doesn't mean that they listen and through action, but they come to you. Some do it for 2 reasons. Some do it just for validation. Some do it just to vent. You become the family therapist, you know, and then some do it because they know that if you give me a pass, I'm going to keep on doing it. Let me tell you something. You do understand that what all the turmoil is going on right now is by way of the Jezebel spirit and the work of countless demons out there doing the devil's bidding. And see, right now they think that they're winning because right now the world is literally upside down when it comes to your moral compass. The things that should be valued are disrespected, and the things that should be shunned are embraced. And the logic behind that is, well, who are you to say that this is right and this is wrong? But you're suffering. You're suffering. You're the one suffering. You're the one walking around with the abuse, the bruises that you try to hide. I ain't gotta remind you. Look at your money. You do understand when you're happy, your money grows? Who am I talking to? Because when you're at peace, guess what? You don't do impulsive things. Therefore, you don't burn gas. You've got control. You're in balance, not in flux. And that's why it's really important, y'all, that you govern your time with the people that you're with. And I hate to tell this to somebody, but your number one distraction may be the person you're sleeping with right now. It might be somebody that is in your family tree, and they know and there is a division. You feel like it's oil and water. Like, well, wait a minute, hold on, hold on. All I wanted to do was just say hi. How are you? You know, I love, and they, anytime that you even come remotely around you, that's some spiritual stuff going on right there. And guess what? Some demons, they act a fool because they know that God has got his hands on you. And guess what? Them, just as there are demons, the angels are out there. And there's a spiritual battle going on every day. But just know this, y'all, because I know that there ain't nothing worse than seeing somebody, they lost their smile. It's like they're walking. That's what Walking Dead really is, y'all. Metaphorically, that's what it is. When you are beside yourself, but in your mind, you feel like you're the only person on this planet, there's some spiritual warfare going on. So I'm going to ask you this. How much disappointment do you have to go through before you'll finally stand up? Some of y'all, the problem is you're terrified of change. And that's why you act up. Because that ain't nothing but a false shield. I ain't got to tell you, y'all know who I'm talking about. That person, every time you come around, they on 29. You're like, oh, I wanted to know, did you want some more coffee? Well, why you on 15? It's only, we just came to work. Because those people are going through something that has such a hold on their life. And here's the thing. I ain't got to tell you, misery loves company. Why? The end goal is to convince you to think the same way. Devil loves that. Jezebel's spirit loves that too, especially if you have a spiritual connection. She does her best work. She uses the things that you treasure and plays with them. All of a sudden, you got problems with your children. You don't understand why. She's affecting the children's behavior to get to you. That's a two for one deal. So does it surprise you that you have people that have actually will tell you, Gerald, I was not myself. I was going through a dark spot. I was going through something. But then when you ask them, well, what are you going through? They can never tell you. It's because that demon inside them is keeping their tongue binded. That's what's going on. So this is what I ask you to do. I want you to go and get you some white sage. Y'all don't know what white sage look like? Let me show you. If you want change, you got to claim it. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is what white sage looks like. You can get it at your grocery store or, there you go. Depending on where you live, you probably got some growing in your yard. They're pretty prevalent. Pretty prevalent. This is a blessed plant, because what it does is it sends a warning shot across the bow, so to speak. See if there's any demonic influence, it ain't coming around. And if there's some demonic activity going on in your house, you burn that. And guess what? They'll tell on themselves. You'll see it in their behavior. I don't, doesn't matter how strong their personality. Oh, they ain't gonna like that. They're gonna be. You know how they say the squeaky wheel doesn't get the oil? Oh yes, it'll let you know. Now, some of you have to learn to say no. Yeah, no, because see, people think that the word no means forever, when in actuality, the word no really means under review. If it's something that is not of your standard, why would you accept it? Why? If you know what you need, why won't you speak it? If they value your time, how about just your presence? Why would they not uphold the standard? So you can't have a standard if the person don't embrace it first, because they can't understand it if they don't know. That's why you see this happen all the time. They'll try to distract you with something else instead of focusing on what's important. Hey, well, we need to sit down and talk about this bill right here. How are we going to pay it? Oh, come on over here, girl. Who's that happen to? Start just or out the blue. First of all, if the person that has access to your life, this is how you know they have your best interest. They can finish your sentences. But guess what? It's always done in love. You even have people say, well, Gerald, sometimes you're going to see it different. You're going to agree to disagree. That's one of the number one cop-outs and excuses that people use that don't want to change stuff. They deliberately throw an X where their O should be. And they wait for you to get so worked up. And guess what they do? They continue with the behavior because they just bought themselves some time. And this is why, I ain't got to tell you, that's why all these relationships are failing. Every one of them. Why? Because they didn't put God first. And how's it go? A house that prays together stays together. Why? Because love is there. So is God. So is his angels. But you know what's not there? The influence outside your door. The people that don't want to see you happy. And that could be a family member too, because you got a lot of people that are deep down have a resentment towards you, but they don't have the courage to tell you why. Or you may have had a discussion with them to try to get to the root of it, and they still won't tell you that. Why? Because they have a love affair for their pain. You do understand, pain can be addicting. You don't believe me? Look at all those people that are into S&M. If there was no reaction in that, why would they do it? No, Gerald, I'm into that because it makes it spicy. Now, what you decide to do in the confines of your home is fine. But just know, we're talking about the psyche. And that's why so many people think that, well, if there ain't no pain in it, it ain't real. But if it was real, why would they bring you pain? If they loved you, why would they make a point to hurt you? Who am I talking to? Why? Because you're shaped like an hourglass? Because you built like a Greek Adonis, and that's all you have to do? Bills still got to get paid. You realize how many people think that all they have to do is look the part and that's all that's needed? For real? Let me tell you something. It don't matter what you look like. If you don't love yourself, they won't love you because you set the standard. We teach people how we wish to be treated by what we embrace and what we condone. So why are you racking your brain for them? You may say, well, Gerald, that's my son. I can't turn my back on my son because I'm afraid that the streets are gonna get him. You know what? Streets won't. If you're having problems with your son, have you actually sat down and asked what is the reason why he's acting out? And newsflash, I gotta tell you this, Queens. The sooner that you accept the fact that that little boy needs a male image in his life, not someone that's going to be like, here you go, here you go, sit your ass down over there. No, someone that really going to give a damn about him, you've already given him to the streets. You've already given her to that sugar daddy. I ain't got to tell you that. Look at the things you've had to go through that you don't want nobody to know and what people have done to you. Who am I talking to? And guess what? They're going to repeat the cycle until the cycle is broken. And what's unfortunate is there are some that don't get a second chance because it may be a one and done. I ain't got to remind you, look at the news. There's somebody's son or someone's daughter getting locked up. That's somebody's son or somebody's daughter getting shot. That's somebody's son. That's somebody's daughter being sexually exploited. I ain't got to tell you that. People run to sex as a distraction. And they do it sometimes to escape what they're going through. Same reason why people get high. Same reason why people smoke. I'm not no hypocrite. I done walked them shoes. And I've already got my plan ready for 2017. And I'm going to show you exactly what God can do. I'll show you something better. Some of y'all who've been following me, you might not even realize it. 3 weeks ago, I was in a cast. 2 fractures. Hello? I am healed. So you can't tell me that God ain't real. Now you may be thinking, Gerald, I didn't heard and what you say and speak your truth, ground your feet, be still. I didn't heard all that, but at the end of the day, Gerald, I'm still alone. I want companionship. I want someone to love me. I'm tired of struggling. Start loving you. Then start loving you. Stop looking at your girlfriend for information. If she had it down, wouldn't she be doing it? Anybody can car hop because that's what society wants. Society wants you to be the social prostitute, queen. Come on. You don't see that? Oh, I'm going to get with Johnny for a little while. I'm going to give him a little bit. Johnny gonna take care of this part, but instead of me being honest and respecting myself and doing it on my own, I'm gonna put Steve on call. Then Steve turns around and treats you like a bowling ball. Steve shows no emotion, and you then turn around and say, "Well, maybe I do need somebody that not gonna put up with my ish." Brainwashed. If they loved you, if they cared about you, if they valued your heart, why would they put you at risk? Come on, girl. Come on. See, this right here is gonna mess up a whole lot of people in the next 10, 15 years. What you do behind closed doors is your business. But if they ain't your wife, they ain't your husband, they can't protect you when the truth comes. Because it's gonna come. Oh yes. And I ain't gotta tell you, y'all know there's somebody that might be in your family. Someone you work with, and they scandalous. They scandalous. They even brag. Have no remorse. This is what you do. You don't judge. You step back and watch. Watch what happens to them. Because that ain't nothing but a false platform, and that descent is going to come, and everybody connected to them going to fall with them. But here's the kicker. Haven't you noticed when a person falls, their environment is the first thing that leaves? And so that's a double slap in the face because you thought that they were going to be there to the ends of time. No, that also shows you how they saw you or what they benefited from. That's what I'm saying, Queen. You don't get no PhD for busting it open. You don't. Meanwhile, you get angrier and angrier, and then you try to convince yourself, well, I'm going to take these bad experiences and I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to have a position so that if they want to be about me, it's me. Don't you realize they see through that? And it ain't nothing but a game. That one guy that was nice the whole time, sure, you want to go? That's fine. Until that one moment, and then he going to wear your ass out. And then skeet, he's gone. And now you're looking shook like, well, what happened to the guy that was there? He was waiting. Yes, kings, women do it all the time. Think about it. How many times have you scratched your head and you said, well, what is it about that dude? And they all around him because he's the bank. And they want to. But here's what's sad about that, y'all. Anybody can marry for security. But the security that you won't get is for your heart. Oh, there's plenty of loveless relationships out here. And they don't even have the courage to tell you what it is. But you feel it. You feel it. And you know who benefits? Facebook, dating sites, social media. Because sooner or later, you're going to get to a point, you say, well, let me give this a shot. Okay, what's your routing number? You go through phase of that, and you realize what you needed was never there. What you needed was inside you. And you say, well, Gerald, I just need a little TLC. That's why you got that drawer. But no drawer will replace a person. So, man, listen, you shouldn't be going through life dreaming about this. Hey, what you doing? How's work? Oh, yeah? Hey, I was just thinking about it. Oh, no, I really ain't had nothing. Just want to make sure that you was okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I love you. That's what you want. But you ain't going to get that with that two-legged pit bull because he don't know what love is. He don't know what his emotions are. And his mood swings are like this and that. But he know how to drop it like it's hot, and he knows how to treat your legs like the golden arches. Oh, yes. That's why you see this. You see that woman in church with that big old hat and them dark glasses. The window, because the truth is, that's a distraction. And any person that's in spirit knows it. I'm not judging you because God said don't judge. But you do deserve to be happy. But you'll come to learn that no one can make you happy until you decide to make yourself happy. No one can love you unless you love you first. No one will see your value of your life until you do. It doesn't matter if he's carrying wood or his pockets are deep. There's a whole lot of concubines, male and female, walking around. You see them all the time. Oh, you went shopping? Yeah, but behind closed doors, I had to pay for it. That's not you. And I'm going to bring this home. I remember one time I was at work, and I had to go and do my annual physical, right? So I go to the base clinic, and I'm waiting. And there's this older gentleman. He got the newspaper. And we're just waiting for them to call our ticket. And he's looking at the newspaper. And he's like, I hear him, but it's just me and him sitting out there. So next thing I know, he closes the paper, folds it, and throws it down. And then he looks over to me and he said, who the hell is going to pay $1,500 for some high heel shoes? I already knew he was talking about them Louboutin Tons. I said, you ever heard about that? And I said, yes, sir, I do. I know. He said, they call them red bottoms. And then, without even thinking, he said, if I'm paying $1,500 for a pair of shoes for my wife, oh, she gonna have a red bottom. And we both started laughing. But on a deeper note, you're putting price on your body. You're putting a price on your time. And what separates you from that person that walks the block, that's on the webcam, that are doing things strange for change? Don't you realize those people have made a conscious decision to put finance over happiness? But then P.T. Barnum said it best. P.T. Barnum was the creator of Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. He said, with every show there is profit, and a fool and his money will soon part. So give them a show. That's what's going on now, y'all. That's what's going on right now. People are selling out instead of digging in. See, at the end of the day, it's your story. It's what you will take in, but you make the brush strokes. You add the contrast. You place the accent in your environment. Why would you work on the masterpiece known as your life to stop and take some mud and throw it on there? Why would you do it? Why would you do it? You wouldn't. So, when you run into that person today, or someone that you may be with, just know this. Only thing you can do is pray. Pray that whatever is holding them back from themselves, it will be moved. It will come to the surface so it can pass. But it is not your responsibility to roll your sleeves up and get in the trenches to change anybody. You can't do it. Ask some of these women out here that take on these men as science projects only to watch that guy walk right out your life. You feel a certain kind of way, right? There's a reason why that's happening. It's also to show you what it feels like when you've done it already. God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. Your life, your time is yours. It isn't something to do. It is your journey, but it's their experience. When you're going to stop crying in the night? I'll tell you when. Is when you can stop running and face your fears. How about that pain you've been holding on to for the last 15 years? Some of y'all been carrying baggage since your childhood. Until you have that conversation with God, you are breathing life not only into your distraction, but your despair. And it's such a shame. Your life is priceless. Be blessed.